Hello, beautiful women. I just want to share a brief story with you about my day because there's a message in there for all mothers who have a lot going on in your life. So, today, I homeschool my children and I work from home and I have a lot going on. There's a lot of things in my life. And today I had a car full of girls, my daughter and lots of her friends. We're all going into town to do some busking to raise money for this homeschool festival that they're organizing. And I also had in my mind, like I had a lot of things on afterwards. Like my day was scheduled quite full, as in like I was bringing them to bask. I wanted to be there with them. I wanted to make sure they were safe. While I was bringing them there, I needed to quickly duck off to a mini appointment where I needed to hand some form in somewhere. So I was going to drop them off, go do that, and then come back to them. And then I had to meet someone who was going to check out my daughter's guitar to try to fix it. I needed to meet up with a friend who was bringing her son to meet up with us. And then really soon, actually, like just afterwards, I was going to run a workshop, and it was just like one thing after the other. So it in my mind, it was like it will all go fine as long as like there's no spanner in the works, as long as it all just goes smoothly. And then, as often happens in life, it doesn't always just go smoothly, and that's what happened today. I had dropped the girls off. They were doing their busking. I went to this appointment, and I was taking ages for me to wait just to do this thing. And I was getting agitated. I was like, I really need to get back to the girls. And then while I was getting agitated, sitting there waiting, my phone did this really weird thing. It has never happened before, where it was at like 70%, and then I watched it jump down to 20%. And then in the next like minute, I was watching it just drop from 20% all the way down to 5%. And I was like, crap, like now I've got no way to contact these girls. And well, actually my phone stayed at 5% after that. But anyway, my mind started spiraling, my mind started plummeting along with the battery of my phone. And then together with that was like, I'm going to be stuck in this line waiting for ages. And then I went to worst case scenarios, like, what if there's some creepy people and I'm not there to be with the girls and I'm not watching them? And then it went even further. Sometimes with my car, there's some funny things that happen where it doesn't start properly. And I was like, oh, the car's not going to start. I don't have a phone. The car's not going to start. I'm going to be late. And my mind just started going out of control. Like that, it totally went into the mode of my day is screwed. And then I remembered, I stopped, I took a breath and remembered that while I don't have any control over the fact that my phone is doing this weird thing where it's losing battery in that moment, like maybe I could get it checked out in another moment, but in that moment I didn't have any control over that. I didn't have any control over how long I was waiting in this line. I didn't have any control over the possibility of whether my car would necessarily start or not in that moment. In another moment I could if I went and made sure I got it fixed. And I didn't have any control over what might happen with the girls while they were busking, and they're teenagers, by the way, like they're very self-reliant. But what I did have control over was my own thoughts and the way that I respond to the situation. And in that moment, I just remembered that I can choose to spiral down into a space of like doom, which would sure as hell make sure that the rest of my day was a lot more tricky, a lot more stressful. Or I can actually choose to use the immense powers that I have. Like in those times when we go into like stress response, we forget the power that we have. And by that, I mean like one of the really basic things is the power to stop and breathe, the power to recalibrate just by taking a breath and getting present. But then there's also, which is what I chose to do, like I chose to take that is like the ultimate first step before any of the others, is I chose to take a breath, get present, and just surrender to what is. Like, this is what is. There's no point in me resisting what is. I'm just going to be present to what is. And as soon as I connected to that power, I had access to another amazing power that every single one of you who is here listening, and every single human in the world has, is the power of imagination and the power of intention, the power of manifestation. So it was like, yep, I'm present with what is. There is not much I can do about this. But then also, what do I actually choose? What do I want? And then I used that presence to visualize what I wanted. And I visualized the car starting. I visualized whether I had a charged phone or not, just being able to reach the people I needed to reach. I visualized my day going smoothly. No matter what happened, like, I visualized the day being okay and me being calm about it. And I actually chose to get up and like let them know that I would come back another time for this appointment. And I chose to go back and meet with the girls. And I did it from a place of connection, from a place of presence, from a place of power, remembering my power to choose my day. And well, actually my car did start. And strangely enough, my phone stayed on 5%. So it kind of was going down, but not actually going down for the rest of the next few hours until I got home. But my day went wonderfully. Like, in that moment when my whole mind started spiraling out of control, I remembered my power. The power within all of us to stop and choose and use our breath, use our presence, use our imagination, use our intention completely. It was like, like the choose your own adventure. Like, it could have gone down like, oh, I had the worst day. Like, it could have just kept cascading. But it didn't, because I connected with that choice. And on a whole, like, other sort of deeper, a bit more esoteric level, or maybe it's not so esoteric, I don't know, but like, I do believe that that actually affects things that happen. Like, my clear intention and my lack of like stress when I chose to go there, I think that would have helped to like make sure that my car started, make sure my phone still worked for me. Like, I think we have a power to actually affect things around us, not from that needy place of, oh, I'm doing this to make sure that the crappy stuff doesn't happen, because when you're in more of that space, you actually are more okay with the crappy stuff. But it happens less because where your energy's at, because you're more in alignment. So the message here is to remember your power. No matter what goes on, no matter what spanners get thrown in the works, you have so much power in the moment. It's the power to choose, the power to imagine, the power to connect with yourself. Yeah, use it, wise woman. And it was a pleasure to share this with you. And if you are interested, reach out to Lisa or I, to both of us. We've got the booking form in the description above. We are opening up spaces for like deep but introductory coaching conversations for women who are really ready to go a little deeper and ready to really shift all those beliefs that get in the way. Because while we always have the choice, there's a lot of unconscious programming that goes on, which is why we keep getting in the same kind of patterns over and over, and it feels hard to access that power that's always there. So it's our passion and it's our honor to work with women to really work through that, to get clear on what the stuff is for you and clear it so that you are so much more in touch with that power of yours. So if you're interested, go to the booking link and fill it out. And if you're fit, we would love to get on, like, the first call is free. We would love to get on a call with you, and we might see you there. Okay, lots of love.